You think you understand what women want? You don't, not truly. Most men misunderstand this their entire lives, and then they wonder why things fell apart. Why she walked away, why her interest faded, why she never chose them. Before we go any further, hit that subscribe button, because what I'm about to share is something most men will never hear. And you need to hear it. If you want anything in your life to change, subscribe now. Let's continue. Every woman wants a man, not a boy. Not a man pretending to be one. But what does that actually mean? It's not about muscles. It's not about money. It's not about looks. Those things can help, sure, but they're not the foundation. They're not the core. The core is something deeper. Something most men have lost, or never developed in the first place. It's presence. It's certainty. It's knowing exactly who you are and not apologizing for it. Women are drawn to clarity. To a man who has chosen himself first. A man who doesn't rely on her validation to feel like a man. That's the difference. Boys seek approval. Men give it to themselves. Boys ask for permission. Men make decisions. Boys follow her direction. Men set the direction. And she feels that immediately. In the first conversation. In the first 10 seconds, she knows whether you're grounded or internally unstable. You can't fake this. You can't rehearse it. It comes from your life. From the work you've done on yourself quietly, when no one is watching. Most men try to impress her. They perform. They flex. They try to prove something. And it pushes her away because it reeks of insecurity. It screams neediness. And neediness kills attraction faster than anything else. Women don't want to be needed. They want to be wanted by a man who is already whole. Not someone trying to use her to fill an internal void. And that's the uncomfortable truth. Most men are walking voids. Empty. No mission. No purpose. No direction. They wake up, go through the motions, and hope a woman will make them feel alive. That's not attractive. That's a burden. She doesn't want to carry you. She wants to walk beside you. But you have to be going somewhere. You need a destination, a vision, something bigger than her, bigger than the relationship. That's what draws her in. Not compliments, not availability, not how nice you are. Nice is neutral. Nice is the baseline until it's not. She's not searching for nice. She's looking for real. A man who says no when he means no. A man who doesn't bend just to keep her comfortable. A man with boundaries who enforces them calmly, without anger, without explanation. Just a quiet line that doesn't move. That's strength. Real strength. Not loud, not aggressive, just unshakable. And she respects that. She feels safe with that because she knows you won't collapse, you won't fold. You won't turn into someone else just to keep her around. Most men do exactly that. They change everything. Their hobbies, their friends, their opinions. They reshape themselves into what they think she wants. And every time, she loses interest. Because she didn't want a copy. She wanted the original. The man who showed up with his own life, his own standards, his own frame, and invited her into it. Not the man who abandoned himself to enter hers. You don't step into her world and disappear. You build your world, and she decides whether she wants to be part of it. That's the dynamic. That's what actually works. But it requires something most men don't have. You need a real life. Something that matters to you more than her attention. More than her approval. That's where most men fail. They have nothing. No passion. No goals. No discipline. They're just drifting, waiting for a woman to give them meaning. And when she arrives, they cling. They suffocate. They text too much. They need constant reassurance. They're always available, always waiting, always ready. And it destroys everything because attraction needs space. It needs tension. It needs uncertainty. Not games. Not manipulation. But the natural tension that comes from a man who has options. Not because he's playing around, but because he's valuable. Because he's built something. Because he is someone. And she can feel that. She can feel that other women notice it too. And that makes her want it more. That's female psychology. This isn't about being rude or cold. It's about being grounded in your own worth without needing her to confirm it. You know what you bring. You know your value. And you're not desperate to prove it. You simply live it. And she notices. She always notices. The man who isn't chasing. The man who is building. The man who stays calm, even when she tests him. And she will test you. Not because she's cruel, but because she needs to know if you're real. If you'll hold your frame or crack under pressure. Most men crack. They get emotional, defensive, they over-explain, they try to fix things. They apologize for things they didn't even do just to ease the tension. And she sees weakness. She doesn't want to see it, but she does. Because biology doesn't negotiate. Her attraction isn't a conscious choice. It's a response to who you are, not who you pretend to be, not who you hope to become, but who you are in the moment when it matters. So ask yourself, who are you when no one is watching? When there's no reward, do you still show up? Do you still do the work? Do you still hold your standards? Or do you collapse? When things get hard, when she pulls away, when she goes cold, do you chase? Or do you stay centered? Do you panic? Or do you trust yourself? That's the test. And she's watching, even when you think she isn't. She's observing how you move, how you speak, how you handle pressure, how you treat others, how you treat yourself. She notices if you respect your time, if you have self-control, if you can delay gratification, if you're disciplined, or if you're chaotic, reactive, ruled by emotion. That's not masculine. Masculine is steady, controlled, intentional. It's doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Even when it's hard, even when no one is clapping for you. That's the man she wants. The man who doesn't need applause to keep moving forward. A man on a path, walking it regardless. She wants to join that. She wants to support that. But only if it's real. Only if you're not performing. Only if that's who you are when she's not around. You can't fake this. You have to become it. And that takes time. It takes honesty. It takes looking at yourself and admitting where you've been weak, where you've been needy, where you've betrayed yourself just to get her attention. Most men have. That's okay. But now you know better. Attraction isn't built by shrinking yourself. It's built by expanding, by becoming more, not for her, for you. And when you truly do that, she feels it. Because you stop needing her. You start choosing her. And that difference is massive. Need is pressure. Choice is freedom. She wants to be chosen by a man who doesn't need to choose her, but does anyway. Because he wants to. Because she adds to his life, not completes it. He's already complete, or actively working toward it every single day. He's in the gym, not for her, for himself. He's building his career, not to impress her, to create freedom. He's reading, learning, growing. Not because she asked him to, but because he respects himself enough to invest in himself. That's attractive. That's magnetic. Because most men don't do this. Most men stop growing. The moment they get comfortable, they coast. They settle. They let themselves go physically, mentally, emotionally. And then they wonder why her interest fades. It's because you stopped being interesting. You stopped evolving. You became predictable, boring, safe in the wrong way. Not stable safe, stagnant safe. And she needs polarity. She needs masculine energy that's directed, purposeful, alive, not passive, not lifeless, not waiting for permission to live your own life. You don't ask her if you can go to the gym, if you can see your friends, if you can work on your goals. You do it, and you invite her along if it fits. But you're going either way. That's the frame. Your life comes first. And paradoxically, that's what makes her want in. Because she sees a man who values himself. And she wants to be valued by a man like that. Not by someone with no standards. Not by someone who takes anything just to be chosen. She doesn't want to be your only option. She wants to be your best option. And you don't get there by chasing. You get there by building. By becoming undeniable on your own. And letting her see it naturally. Without forcing it. Without proving it. You're not asking. You're stating. You're not seeking approval. You're living by your own code. If she aligns, great. If she doesn't, that's fine too. Because you're not dependent on her presence. You're complete without her. Better with her. But not lost without her. That's the energy. That's what every woman wants. A man who doesn't need her, but genuinely enjoys having her. A man going somewhere, inviting her along. Not a man waiting for her to give him direction. That's not leadership. That's passivity. And she can't respect that. Even if she says she wants it, deep down she doesn't. She wants calm leadership, confidence without arrogance, certainty in your decisions and your path. And she'll follow, not because she's weak, but because she trusts that you know where you're going. That trust is earned through work. Real work, on your body, your mind, your emotions, your purpose. There are no shortcuts, and you can't fake it. She'll know. Women always know. They feel energy. They sense incongruence. If you're pretending, she'll feel it and pull away. If you're solid, she'll feel that too. And she'll stay, not because you convinced her, but because she wants to. Because being around you feels different. Stable, grounded, safe. She can relax into her feminine without having to lead, manage, or mother you. That's what she wants. A man, not another child. Too many men show up emotionally immature, unable to handle rejection, unable to regulate themselves, needing constant reassurance and validation. That's exhausting. She doesn't want that. She wants a man who can handle himself, who doesn't fall apart when things get hard, who stays calm when she's emotional, who holds space without getting dragged into chaos. That's masculine presence, and it's rare, because most men were taught to please, to be nice, to avoid conflict, and it backfired, because that's not attractive, it's weak. She can't feel safe being vulnerable with weakness. She needs strength, quiet strength, the kind that doesn't brag, the kind that simply exists. When you have that, you don't need to chase. You don't need to convince. You just live, and she comes to you. Because she feels safe, seen, free to be herself without you collapsing. That's the man every woman wants. Not perfect, but grounded. Not rich, but purposeful. Not flawless, but honest. A man who owns his flaws and works on them without excuses. Without shame. Just consistent improvement every day. That's it. No tricks, no lines, no strategies. Become that man, and everything else follows. So ask yourself honestly, are you that man? Or are you pretending? Are you building? Or are you waiting? Are you solid? Or are you shaking? She already knows. And deep down, so do you. Now do something about it. Not tomorrow. Today. Right now. Start becoming the man you're meant to be. Not for her. For you. And when you do, she'll notice. She always does.